Psychology and mindset. Psychology is the study of the human brain and our behaviors, why we do or don't do certain things. Psychology has everything to do with our nutrition, our workouts, our fitness goals, why we make certain choices, have certain daily habits, what our inner dialogue is saying. What are we telling ourselves? Is it negative? Is it positive? So analyzing psychology is a huge part in establishing why we are or why we are not getting to our goals, and breaking down again that inner voice, the inner dialogue, and therefore like our daily habits. I follow a psychology sequence that I've identified with. The first part is motivation. It's a 5-part sequence. If you look at it, like basically everything, start to finish, starts with motivation. Wherever you get it from, motivation comes in different ways, but it starts with motivation, the motive to do something, to work towards a goal. Then it goes into practice or daily habits. From motivation, you practice, like you put steps into place and you start, doing these tiny little habits or practicing something to reach towards the end. With practice then comes consistency. The more you put solid days in a row in place of practicing that event or a daily ritual, daily habit, getting you towards that end goal. Think of it like money in a bank accruing interest. 1 week isn't as good as 3 weeks, which isn't as good as 3 years. But if you compound it like interest, it builds over time, and that builds confidence. Consistency builds confidence, and with confidence, it eventually leads to success. So, motivation, practice, consistency, confidence, and then success. Okay, I'm going to go over a couple psychological exercises that you can do to keep yourself on track. Things that you can stop and practice that will rewrite your psychology and just your mindset, getting more of a positive inner dialogue. The first one I want you to think about is successful people. Like think of anybody in any genre, authors, Olympians, Fortune 500 people, big business executives. Generally those people are only doing things that they really enjoy. So, they've gotten to a point where they only do things that are fun to them. And it comes from intrinsic motivation. They don't have they're not working out because they have to. They're working out because they like to, or they're going to work because they like what they're doing. They like their work. So you need to have an innate motivation that is more wholesome. So you have to find things that you like to do, positive things that you like to do. An activity to do is pick 3 things, like brainstorm 3 things that you like that are, healthy, whether it be yoga or walking or drinking tea or sitting on your porch with your dog, in the morning and just kind of meditating, or, looking out to your yard. It could be something as simple as that, but pick 3 things and then practice one of those 3 minutes every day for a week. Another one is writing down your why. Whenever you come to a roadblock or an obstacle, you have it on a little piece of paper. Pull it out of your pocket, your wallet, your purse, whatever, and just look at it and really think about why you're on this journey, whether it be a fitness journey, a journey towards, financial success, or, relationship, whatever. Look at your why. And oftentimes people, I do this with clients all the time, they say, well, what's your why, or why are you in here? I want to lose, 20 pounds. Well, that's pretty superficial. Really dig down and get down to your emotional trigger of why you're really on that journey. So you need to ask yourself why about 5 times. Why do you want to lose 20 pounds? Well, because, I want to get in better shape. Well, why do you want to get in better shape? Well, I used to be in better shape and I used to be able to do all these things that I can't do anymore. Well, why can't you do those things anymore? Well, my wife, had pointed out to me that, I'm not the same person I used to be, or, that I've really slowed down. And then you really reach that emotional trigger. So keep asking yourself why. really dig down and find out what it is, write it down on paper, and then pull it out when you reach a roadblock, and then just read it and remind yourself why you're doing what you're doing and why you're on that journey. Another one is, what would the best version of yourself do? Think about when you reach an obstacle or kind of a stopping point or a hitch. Think about, okay, what would the millionaire version of myself do, or what would the super fit version of myself do? What would the super confident, positive version of myself do? And then if you act according to that type of person, that best version of yourself, you're going to make the right choice every single time. So it's another exercise to think about. With bad habits, there's a cue, there's an action, and a reward. Generally with the cue, it's two things. It's either boredom or stress. So take smoking or overeating, for example. You get bored, so you light up a cigarette, or you get bored, you start eating. You reach for some snacks or go to the fridge, or at work, you reach into your desk or go to the vending machine. So that's the cue. You identify what your cue is. Is it stress or is it boredom? And once you identify that, then you can switch what you do and how you respond as far as the action. So when you're bored or when you're stressed, you don't overeat, and you don't reach for the cigarettes, and you start to really identify your habit and again change the action, and then inevitably you change the reward. The reward before is, of course, you get the high from the cigarette or the nicotine high, or the reward from the food is that instant gratification. Resiliency and working out. The more you work out, kind of like how I talked about earlier with the consistency and the practice, the more you work out, the more resilient you will be in stressful situations, and you're not as apt to cave to those, eating cake, or missing your workout if you're tired at the end of the day, or sleeping in and skipping 3 snooze alarms, and not getting up and doing any activity in the morning. So the more you work out, it's like a muscle. It's building a safeguard for when you hit those stressful situations. We all have those. You can't foresee a lot of the stresses, so you have to build those safeguards in place. Working out is like building your willpower muscle, your resiliency. Posture and breathing techniques. I talk about posture and breathing with my clients all the time. It's a massive shift in just your overall well-being when you're more mindful of your posture and your breathing. There's so much literature on breathing techniques, from monks to like Navy SEALs doing a box breathing technique to reduce their heart rate, to there's all kinds of ways you can do breathing techniques. So just being mindful of taking deep inhales and exhales, and then sitting upright with your chest out and your shoulders back, those things all the time are invaluable for your overall health and just your mindfulness and rewriting that psychology and what you're telling yourself. If it's something to constantly focus on and make it a habit to do, as opposed to bad habits, it's something to constantly fill your mind with and focus on, that's going to occupy it and tell yourself positive things, as opposed to just reaching for a quick fix or an easy outlet. The last exercise is develop some kind of nighttime routine. Have a wind down period. I talk about this a lot, the nighttime routine, the morning routine. Have a schedule, or review your schedule at night before the next day. Read or meditate. Develop, set your alarm, not just for in the morning, but at night, like a bedtime, wind down period. So you have a good hour of winding down, writing down your goals, reviewing your schedule, even make a vision board and look at that vision board. So every day you get to the end of the day and you kind of do a daily review, look at the upcoming day, and you're refreshed and you're going to have better sleep. That vision board is huge, as opposed to just writing down your goals. Put pictures on it. You can make it on your iPad or whatever, but have that vision board of those, those versions of yourself you want to see. Make it crazy. Make it your dream board, and then work every day towards building steps towards that vision board. All these techniques are huge when we're talking about mindset and psychology. How are you talking to yourself? What are steps in place that you're doing to get to your goals? You know, it's easy just to say, well, I want to lose 30 pounds. How do you get there? These are the tiny little exercises and daily habits, the inner dialogue talk that you tell yourself that gets you there.